Boom. Of course, it says 14 seconds, but I got that notification just now. So welcome everyone out there, and especially you on the podcast who will be listening to this that can't see our beautiful faces. Welcome to our next episode of Count the Bucket. We're one person short today, but you know what? We look better than ever, don't we, CJ?
Yeah, we look great. Obviously, you're looking great, bro. Good job, man. How you doing, man?
I've been trying out a new beard oil. Actually, it's a conditioner that I've been using in the shower. Not that I want you to think of me in the shower or anything, but I use it in the shower, and then when I get out, there's another thing that I've been putting on it, and I feel like it's looking a lot more full. So I'm really digging it. So my wife said that the underneath is a lot longer when I pull it. I got a little bit of some curls going on here. She said I need to trim it up underneath. So I can't do that. I'm gonna have to get her to help me or something. But you know what? I'm getting it on point. Starting to do better with that. So getting a little more. It was feeling a little dried out. So I got the conditioner. Got it going now. I just need to get the top cut back again. How about you? How you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing well. Been doing well, man. Again, we're getting close to that time. Obviously, I do a show, The Hard Count, with my guy Connie. NFL's coming up this Thursday.
Absolutely.
So excited for that. And then in about a month and a half or so, NBA season is going to be right here too. So the fall is always the best time. It's September. It's my birthday month. September 20th.
Happy birthday month.
Yeah. September 20th is the official
Hey, my daughter's September 19th.
It's Virgos, man. Shout out. Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure anyways.
So yeah, it's a good month. Good month. Basketball is right around the corner. Football starts in a couple days. For our basketball fans that play 2K, 2K is coming out on Friday. So it's going to be a big day. 2K23, definitely your boy D Book, Bubble Booker's on the cover, and then they got.
I can see where Cole is on it as well.
Yes, they dropped the
cool.
J. Cole edition. That cover did look pretty cool, and then they got the championship edition with the GOAT with Michael Jordan. So it's going to be
making sure the GOAT was the correct answer there.
Yeah.
Okay. So my wife said the 19th. Yes. So we are right.
So it's going to be an exciting start to the week, man. But
absolutely
starting it out talking basketball with my guy, man. Let's get it.
Yes. So football starts when? Next week or this Thursday, right?
This Thursday, yeah.
This Thursday. Okay. I just picked up my kicker and football or defense in one of my fantasy leagues. I was waiting for the last minute because I was wanting to see which one on my bench may actually kind of step forward on there. But you know what? I had to do what I had to do. But so this week starts football. After this week, we're roughly 7 weeks away for the start of NBA. The WNBA the finals are going on now. I mean, it's just college football started this week. My Cats are 1-0, so happy about that. So fall is a great time for sports. Excuse me. And of course, my Savannah Bananas, they just ended their summer tour. So there's a lot going on. Been hard to keep up with everything. So, definitely ready to dive into some basketball. But you know what? One thing I want to get into before we get going too much farther, because we got some other I say breaking news. I want to say breaking news because I think it's pretty awesome. See if I can pull it up here. I've got it down here on the bottom. I added it to you. Just going to go ahead and let you know I got a package that came in the mail today. Actually, day before yesterday. I opened it, but I haven't looked in it. I opened it up because I didn't want all the rattling here, but I want to open it while you're here with me, okay? And, of course, again, for you podcasters, sorry you won't be able to see this, but we're going ahead and get in here. Oh, yes. Got 3. Look at this nice little packaging. It's called Java Seeds. Now, what that is, and for you, CJ, you know what this is. Look, they even sent us a nice little postcard in here. Handwritten letter. That's pretty nice. So what it is, Java Seeds, there are sunflower seeds that are caffeinated. And just want to talk about it. I got a 3-pack. So, CJ, I'll try to get you a pack sent out to you and let you sample them as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
As I
That'd be
say
great.
that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, I think. We are now considered – I'm trying to tap on there. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Bam. thejavaseeds.com, and you can actually get 20% off of your order at thejavaseeds.com if you use our promo code, the Count the Bucket has a promo with them, and it is buckets. Now, actually, I've got this pulled up, and I meant to do this a second ago. I'm going to show you how easy this is. Let me share my screen. I meant to do that 2 seconds ago. Here we go. I went ahead and logged on there myself while I was waiting for you to get on here because I thought it'd be nice to just see. So I went on to Java Seeds. Here they are. Their 3 bags, my 3 bags. And I went ahead and added this to my cart. And let's see here. You can't see my screen right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Click on buy it now. Boom, 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 boom. Clicks over here. And right here it says discount code. And look, it's just, you can actually, they're $18 for the 3 bags. If you actually, I think I clicked on it for this time. You can actually get it to reapply yourself or reship out every month. But if you use the promo code BUCKET for Count the Bucket and hit apply, bam, that gets you 20% off of your order right there. And on that $17 order where you renew it every month, it would save you $3.42. So we're happy to make this partnership. They even said they can't wait to look forward to working with us with some collaborations. So I'm excited about this. I don't want to open this up and eat right now because I think I'll make a lot of noise. But they're 3 bags, so I'm going to ship one out to you, ship one out to Nick, and enjoy one for myself. Now, I will say this. I've looked into the company a little bit before we get going into this too far as the NBA. What I think is really cool, this company started as in a college dorm. They actually needed a way to stay awake. So they actually took their sunflower seeds and mixed it in with some coffee. I want to say they actually probably had their coffee brewed already and combined the two to actually keep themselves awake in college so they could study. So I think it's pretty cool. So go to thejavaseeds.com, use promo code BUCKET to get your 20% off of your first order or any order. Bam.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to Java Seeds, man, for collabing with us.
Also, first promo code ever. How cool is that?
For our first promo, our first sponsor, but the Count the Bucket. Again, man, thank you guys for partnering up with us. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to more things in the future.
Absolutely. All right. So we ready to go ahead and jump into our topics?
Yeah, let's get it. Obviously, September 1st is the big day. Big move, finally. I'm glad it's over. Donovan Mitchell gets traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Big move.
There we go.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to pop up. Big move of the day of the show. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about him being traded ever since really the start of free agency around June or so, and there were the Knicks being involved. They were the favorite team, the favorite to acquire him in the deal, but ultimately that fell through. There were some other names, Miami, Brooklyn, Lakers were in discussions as well, and then the Cavs. Yeah, I said the Knicks. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said.
Yeah, the Knicks were the favorites. Were allegedly favorites to get him, but they sent a multitude of offers, and ultimately it fell through for both parties, and they got what they wanted. I think both sides got what they wanted. The Cavs were aggressive. It was a shock. I think it was a shocker a little bit. I think
Absolutely.
Many people didn't expect Cleveland to be so aggressive and try to get a 3-time All-Star, 25-year-old shooting guard, well in his prime, like Donovan Mitchell, but they feel like they have. Yeah,
I was blindsided by Cavaliers being even in it. Like I didn't even think that they were really considered a serious, I guess, I don't know, contender for this trade. Would you have thought that?
Yeah, it was a surprise. It was definitely a surprise. I mean, they weren't really talked about as one of those teams. Maybe they started having discussions maybe within the last few weeks or so, and try to just field some offers with Danny Ainge in that front office and try to see what's available and what's a possibility for both parties. Right. Obviously, Colin Sexton was the piece that was the most enticing piece in terms of for Utah getting something back. He's a young player. He's coming off the meniscus. When he's on the court, he's a bucket. He's definitely a 24-4 type guy at that guard position. So I mean, they were able to get a guy that could put the ball in the basket pretty at a pretty high level. And I think they saw some other moves as well. Larry Markkinen, another young piece, a guy from Finland, had a lot of upside when he got drafted. When he went to the Bulls, I think a lot of people had some expectations for him, but wasn't what we expected. Then he went to the Cavs and really rejuvenated his career. Really going there. JB Bickerstaff, they played that 3-2 with those three long guys that they have with Mobley, with Jared Allen, and it really caused some problems for them early. It caused some problems for offenses early. And, they fell short a little bit. They hit the, kind of a inexperienced wall, as we would say. Jared Allen got hurt, and they weren't able to get to the playoffs. But they definitely showed some promise. They were a number 3 seed for a little bit. We talked about that throughout the regular season, up towards the end of the season, how well they were playing during that time frame. And now you bring in a bona fide bucket. He averaged 25, 5, and 4 last year. He's going to be a beast for them.
Oh, absolutely. And even I'm trying to look through Twitter as you're talking here to see if there's a graphic.
I got something. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
dude. Because I was going to bring it up. Okay, awesome. Because really, I've been high on Donovan Mitchell since probably day one of offseason about him going somewhere. I finally found a nice raw card that I purchased. I'm not going to say how much just because my wife may be watching at a trade show that I went to a couple months ago. So was able to go and find something. I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit and try to send it off, get it graded, see if I can actually get a PSA 10 or something on that. That way, once he starts playing good with his team, send it off or try to get it sold somewhere else, make a little money off of it. That was my whole plan. Now, I honestly thought this is how our conversation and every week to week that we've had, thought Kevin Durant would end up in Phoenix, the way everything was going there, and thought that Mitchell would end up in Miami, which I thought would set Miami over the bar in the East. And then Kyrie would be in LA. It seemed like that was almost a done deal without ever happening, with all three of those pieces going on the way everything talked. Then it got going on that just everything kind of was falling through or never would happen. And that looks sick of a picture right there, by the way. And so nothing happened. And then we finally hear that KD has met, people are going to be fired, and then KD is okay with it now. Now they're going to run it back. So that takes out two of those options. And we hear that, Mitchell is probably not going to make it to Miami just because the Pat Riley and beef with him and Ainge just from way back. Yeah. So that threw that out in the ocean. And I was like, okay, New York. I tried to speak that with you. I was like, you know what? New York fans deserve this. They need that one star because, they've missed a lot, and we'll get into that as well. So I thought, okay, Mitchell's got to go to New York. They've already spent that money on Brunson. They've got some young guys, RJ. They got Julius. If they can trade and keep some of these younger guys and bring in Mitchell, this team could be a little dangerous. I don't know what to expect because Mitchell, I think, can actually lead a team as the number one option with good surrounding players. Now, putting them on the Cavaliers team, I've already had a lot of people talk to me saying top 4, top 5 in the East next year, maybe even higher. I'm going to pump the brakes just a tad bit this first year. Now, years to come, I'm okay with that. Now, I still think 5 maybe be the top that they can make it this next year with, I'll say, ceiling 4, but I think where they'll end at the highest will probably be 5. But year 2, year 3, that's where I think this might be a little more dangerous because you got Mitchell settling in with these guys. You got Mobley really coming out, blossoming out, I'm going to say, and Garland really taking off with these younger generations. Do I really need to say that? These rooks, these 1 years, 2 years players that are really starting to bond with Mitchell. And you've seen even LeBron, wherever he's went, the first year has been trash. It's that second year where you really see them gelling, where they had those off season, where they can go to the movies and hang out and actually bond a little bit. So I think this Cavalier team is going to be great, but I think it's going to be second year that this is really going to happen. But I think Mitchell's going to come out and just have a chip on his shoulder proving why he should have went to a bigger name. And that's one thing I said in a lot of our chats. I wish it was a bigger name team. I'm not hating that this trade happened, but I wish it was a New York, a Miami, somewhere like that. Here, who's this guy chatting in our comments over here? Oh man, obviously whoever this guy is, of course he doesn't know sports. Nick Andre.
That's
I
good,
never heard
buddy.
of him. Cavs top 4 in the East next season. See, but here's the thing. I had someone else mention that on Facebook, and I pulled a CJ on him, and I felt so bad. As soon as I typed it to him, I said, "Over who?" And that's how we really kind of got to be. And that's going to be. You've got Boston, you've got Brooklyn, who's keeping it together now. You've got Philadelphia, who we know can crumble. That's fine. So then you'd have them there. But then you also got Miami. Are they going to be better in Miami? Possibly. That would be tough, I think. Are they going to be better than Atlanta with what they're putting together? I mean, I would think so. Forgot the Bucks, your team. Got them in there. So that's going to move them probably to that fifth spot in the East, I think. I do think that they could possibly be better than Miami. But I'm going to say that's probably the farthest, and that's going to be just in like a head-to-head game. Now, in a series, I think Miami would win. So that's my cap on it. I love the trade. I'm going to back up. I've talked randomly here on quite a bit of stuff, but I love the trade for Cavs. I even love it for Utah. I mean, they're getting some picks. They're getting some swap picks, and they're getting some guys that they could build around. Sexton, they've already, of course, I think it was a sign and trade, right?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
So
yeah,
he was a
restricted free agent. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was a 4-year, $72 million sign, and then they traded him to Utah. So obviously they've already said that they're going to try to keep Sexton and build around him. What I'm interested, and I'll pause right there. I'll let you talk a little bit. Are you good on it as well for the Cavaliers end?
Yeah, I like the move. I felt like they needed another piece, and they tried to pick up LeVert, and people thought that might have been that extra piece for them. But you bring in a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who's proven, a guy that's been the best team on playoff teams over the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to get to where they wanted to go, which is the finals. But it's just a
comment on YouTube instead of Twitter.
Sorry, crazy. It was just a cap on that Utah Jazz squad, and I like the way this Cav team is constructed. I'm a fan of JB Bickerstaff. I think he's a really good young head coach. He showed a lot of promise last year with the team that they had. A lot of people did not expect them to be really good. People weren't sure about Darius Garland's health. That was something that was a concern the first 2 years in his career. He had the ability to stay healthy. Then Evan Mobley came in and made an impact right away as well, contributing. Jared Allen made an all-star team along with Darius Garland last year. They had the all-star game in Cleveland, so that was definitely something that was great for the city and for the team. So they felt like they needed one more piece, and they were aggressive. I got to give a lot of credit to Kobe Altman, GM, a guy who's been around for a minute. He was there towards the end of LeBron's tenure there in Cleveland, that 18 year. And he understands, listen, I mean, you have to be aggressive in this league if you want to be able to win. And you have a young guy. Mitchell has 3 years left on his deal. It's not like he has 1 year left on his deal to where it's just a 1 year thing. This is going to be a really nice project and see where they go. I agree in terms of how they're going to be ranked in the Eastern Conference. I would say top 6 for sure.
Right. Okay.
4 to 6. Again, you got the Bucks, you got Boston, Brooklyn, Miami, and Philadelphia. I feel like those teams are better than Cleveland right now. But outside of that, I would take Cleveland over Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I think it's close. It's close between those two teams. That I probably give Cleveland the edge, just because I think Mitchell's a better shooting guard than Murray.
I think Cleveland will be more 1 through 5 as well, better.
Yes, they're 3 through 5, and their 3 through 5 is going to be good. Definitely the front court is going to be really solid. And then
I think they may be a little more defensive minded as well. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
Yeah, I mean it's they're taking a step back because they play a lot of 3-2 last year, like I talked about, to kind of mask some of the deficiencies of Garland. Garland's not a great defender. He's solid, and Donovan's not a great defender either. But they feel like, with those two dynamic guys in the backcourt, they can kind of offset some of those things defensively. And then you have elite rim protection at the 4 and the 5. So they just have to make sure they're not just being lackadaisical on that side and make sure they're showing effort. And if they do so, and if they do get blown by, or there's something, a mishap in a defensive rotation, you have those two guys in the middle to be able to protect the rim. So it's not that much of a burden on those guys on the perimeter. So they just have to try, give as much effort as possible on that side. And that could lead to, a plethora of fast break opportunities. For
You sound like me now.
Yeah, that's plethora of fast break opportunities for both guys. And like I said, I like this team, man. I think they look
Absolutely.
good. I think the X factor for me, the main factor for me is it would have to be Evan Mobley, for sure. I mean, I feel like he could be that guy. I tweeted this pretty much right after the trade. I was like, Mobley has to be the best player on the team in the next year or two if they want to win a championship. Because of the versatility, there's only been one guard 6'5" and under. Only one player 6'5" and under to carry a team to a championship, and that's Stephen Curry. He's an anomaly. So you can't ask Donovan Mitchell to be the best player on the championship team just because we haven't seen smaller guards be the best player on the championship team. All those guys are usually 6'5" and up. So I think Mobley has the potential and the ability on both ends of the court to be that type of guy to potentially lead this team to where they want to go, which is, hoisting another Larry O.B. So I like this squad. They're all young. I believe all of them are 26 and under. So, I mean, So the sky's the limit. I like Isaac Okoro. If he can knock down shots on the perimeter, he's going to have a lot of open looks. If he can knock down shots as a 3-and-D guy, they're in a great situation. And also I want to see Evan Mobley be able to knock down some shots too, not just in the perimeter, and then also on the free throw line. He struggled a little bit on the free throw line in his rookie season. I'm looking for him to make that next step and improve. But I think he's going to be really good. But for Cleveland to be where they want to go, they're going to be good next year. They're going to be good this year coming up. But I think next year and beyond, Evan Mobley has to be that guy for the Cavs.
Okay. So you think it will be in order for them to be great, Mobley has to be the team, or it has to be Mobley's team?
Mobley has to be the number one guy. Yes.
Okay. See, I'm with you, yes and no. Sorry, I'm sitting there fidgeting on some things. I'm trying to move back. Having two podcasts, I go back and forth on certain pages on my notebook, but I wanted to make a note here. And also so I can keep our stats from when we have our NBA trivia. But I do think Mobley is the biggest X factor on this team, because I won't say X factor, but we got to know what we can expect from him. Like we still don't know exactly what his ceiling will be with this team. Even Rubio, not that I think he's going to be like that great of a player to help this team, yes or no. I just want to see what kind of role he's going to take coming back. Like, will Rubio and Mitchell be able to have this bond again? Because they used to play together in Utah, didn't they?
Yes.
So, I mean, will they have this bond come back? Will Rubio kind of lead more or less like, hey, Mitchell, this is some stuff that you need to be working on as point guard. Take it easy. Don't always go to the hole, hit the open guy here. Will there be some transitioning of a play style like that for him? That's what I want to be watching for. But I think Mobley has to step up and be the Robin on this team now. I do like it because, what you were saying as far as the 5'6" under, I think back the Raptors had such great teams, but when they'd run into LeBron and they're just not tall enough and never could get over that hump because they were too small. So there definitely has to be superstars of the size to be able to contend. With that being said, though, I love this team, but also let's talk about what's going to go on the other side of the trade on all this. Because, now Utah, we can even back on up what's next for Utah a little bit farther, because there's 5 picks that went to Utah, first-round picks from the Gobert trade, and then now they've got technically 6 picks from this, right? Because they got 3 first-round picks, and then – no, I'm sorry, it's 5. 3 first-round picks and then 2 swap picks.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so they got 5 technically picks, first 3, and then the last 2 they can flop, I'm assuming, if they're worse than Cavaliers. Oh, you even got – what a co-host. So with that, and then in this trade with I about said Sexton, with Donovan Mitchell in here, just going to read it. So let's get this straight. The Jazz turn Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell into Sexton, Beasley, Bolmaro. Is that what it says? I got old eyes.
Bolmaro.
You know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's probably better on your screen, anyways.
Yeah, Bomaro, Ochai Ajabi, the 14th pick that they drafted this year, the Cavs that drafted this year.
That's really why I bailed on that. I wanted you to say that name.
Walker Kessler, a big man out of Auburn, rim protector. I like his game. I think he could be really good. He's 20 years old. Yeah, definitely has some potential to be a solid rim protector in the NBA. Had an ability to space the floor as well in spurts when he was at Auburn, complimenting Jabari Smith over there in the SEC. Jared Vanderbilt, solid role player, played some really good defense. Yeah, exactly. And he did a really good job last year with the Minnesota Timberwolves in their playoff run last year in that first round. He's very versatile. He could guard threes, he could guard fours and twos as well. Larry Marketing, bucket, stretch four, could put the ball on the floor a little bit. Sneaky athletic, can't sleep on him. He could blow by you, posterize you. Really good young player.
Thank you, Victor. Let's take a pause and read this comment real quick. What a great comment. I love this show. Count the bucket. Better than ESPN and CBS Sports.
Appreciate you, Vic, man. All love, brother. Can't wait to talk to you soon, man. Thank you, brother. But yeah, and then we got THT, a young guy who has a lot of potential. I think many Laker fans expected him to be a viable piece for that team sooner. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case due to circumstances of how the team was built and just his play style. So we're going to see what that looks like over there in Utah. Is he going to be a featured piece for them for the future? Or is he just going to be a young guy that might just get bounced around? We'll find out. That's ultimately going to be on him. Stanley Johnson, the guy that had a couple 10-day contracts with the Lakers last year and had the ability to stay on the roster for the majority of the season. He was really versatile as well. Could guard 2 through 5 in certain situations. And then, of course, the main thing is the picks. Like you said, 7 first-round picks. I believe they have 15 first-round picks for the next 7 years, and then the 3 first-round swaps. So it was time. It was time for Utah to blow this team up. Gobert and Mitchell. It just wasn't a duo that was going to get you to a championship. Gobert's just not offensively gifted enough to be a versatile guy in the middle for guys to double team. And Mitchell
he can't be a 2. He can't be a
he can't be a 2. And to me, Mitchell is also a 2, in my opinion.
Don't you dare disrespect.
It's just facts. It just goes back to what I said about Curry being the only guard player under 6'5" to be a number 1 piece on the championship team. Until I see otherwise, I can't call him a 1.
Do you think this is off subject on it here a little bit, but do you think Dame can be?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I mean, we're seeing it. I mean, we saw.
I'm with you. I just people love Dame.
Yeah, I love Dame too. Dame is an excellent basketball player, but when it was him and McCollum, there was a cap on that, and then you saw they traded McCollum. So it's you need a wing. You need a 3 through 5 that's elite to win. We see or a guy like Kobe or Jordan and Wade, guys like that. You need an elite 6'4" and up dynamic type of player in order to win the championship, man. And even though Wade won one with Shaq, it was going to be tough for him to win more championships if LeBron didn't pull up. It's just facts.
Oh yeah,
it's just facts because LeBron was going to be in his way because they were both in the same conference. So you need that guy from the 3 to the 5 to have potential and be elite. And I think Mobley could be that type of guy for them. But for the Jazz circumstances, they just had an inability they had bad matchups in the playoffs. You go up against the Clippers, Terrence Mann is going crazy. He had a 39-point game in the playoffs in the second round. You go up against Dallas, they play 5 out. It's just bad matchups. So it was time to break this team up. And then, of course, what Gobert did, and, before, everything kicked off with COVID, that obviously rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, especially in that Jazz locker room. And there was already talks about him and Mitchell not being on the same page before then. And I think that also kind of played a factor in ultimately their breakup. But, yeah, so it was time. This is what you have to do if you're a small market team. You have to draft players. You're not going to be able to acquire guys in free agency. Free agents are not going to want to go to Utah unless you have one of these generational type players that you draft. And they had. I mean, I don't think Mitchell's a generational type player. He's an excellent player, but they don't have. He's not Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? He's not a guy like that that you feel like you could build around and win championships. They're going to have to find that in these next 5 years or so with all these picks they acquired. Is it possible? Yes, but we'll see what happens.
I hate to be this guy because there's no point bringing this guy's name up, and I'm at all point would not want to bring this guy's name up. Do you think Utah may be trying to get a bunch of picks so they can make a move when Bronny is coming up in the draft? Because LeBron has made it known that he wants to play with Bronny. That Utah could possibly make some big, hey, take 5 of our first picks, give us Bronny, we don't care, we'll take him number 1, just because LeBron will come with him. You know? Like, would that be way too bold to do?
For me, I can't look that far down the road because we just don't know what Bronny is going to be in the next 2 years. So it's really tough to say. I mean, it makes from, the way you're breaking it down, obviously they have the picks, they have the ability to move up and down the draft to get guys. And like you said, LeBron has made it known that wherever Bronny goes, I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to go as well. I want to play with my son in the NBA within the, for a year or two. There was even a quote out. He said he might wait until Bryce comes out too. Right. So, I mean, who knows when he's gonna hang him up. So I think it's possible. Of course, it's very possible. But for me, it's just tough for me to look that far down the road because we still don't know. How well, Bronny,
but does it matter? But does it matter if LeBron is still quote unquote the best player? Right. Like that was my point. Not that because I don't think Bronny right now is worth the number 1 overall pick. But if the tag-along is LeBron James, you say, you know what? I don't care if he's the worst player in the draft. I'll take him number 1 overall because LeBron will sign with him.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Or is LeBron is LeBron say this so that somebody might think like I am, say, we're going to take Bronny number 1, get him that cash, and be like, no, I'm not going there to play. I'm sorry.
Now you make a good point, and then I also just feel like I think LeBron. I think there's teams that are at a point where they don't want LeBron. They don't want LeBron. I think there's some teams out there that just don't want LeBron, and it's not because he's not talented. He's not a great player. It's one, he'll be year 20 plus. In the NBA, he'll be in his 40s at that time. It's not like we're getting 26-year-old LeBron, well in his prime. You'll be getting a LeBron that's again still talented, can still do a bunch of things. We hope, once he reaches that threshold of 40 plus. And I think a team like Utah would rather build their way. I don't know what Danny Ainge's and LeBron's relationship is. That's also a factor as well when it comes to relationships and the politics of basketball. As you know, that always plays a factor into who goes where and what player goes to whatever certain destination. So that's a factor too. I think again, it's a good point, and it's very possible because LeBron has made it known. So he's pretty much telling the rest of the 29 other teams, if you get my son, I'm going to pull up as well. But I think there are some teams that are going to be hesitant just because, again, LeBron's getting up there in age, and right. there's a certain standard, and LeBron wants a lot of power when he gets there as well. That's not going to 37 to 41. That's not going to matter. LeBron's going to have a lot of say in
absolutely
how the team is going to be built. And I think these GMs and these owners, they have a lot of pride and ego, and they want to build how they want to build. They want credit for building the team their way, and not we got LeBron and that's why we won. I think a lot of people think like that.
This is what's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. You guys hearing it first. If you're listening on the podcast, you're hearing it right now. If you're watching live, or I guess if you're listening on the podcast, you'll hear it sooner. But if you're watching live, you're hearing it from me first. What's going to happen is LeBron's going to make his own team. It's going to be the expansion team. LeBron's going to be the owner. He's going to draft his son, and then he's going to play for him, and he's just going to sign all these free agents on him as well. because there's a lot of free agents that are still good that could compete. I won't say win a championship right away, but that could be good. And that's just right now. So you fast forward 2 more years, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be an expansion team. They're going to get the number 1 overall pick. LeBron is going to say, I'm going to buy them. Here's my, $1 billion because I did Space Jams 2. That was awful. And let me have this team. And it's going to be out of this world. And let's go.
That's possible. That's possible.
And it's going to be in Ohio. It's going to be a team back home for him.
Team back home. That would be some movie type stuff, man. But I can see the team. I can see the NBA expanding soon. How soon? We'll see. Is it in the same time frame as LeBron's tenure in the NBA? That also remains to be seen. It could possibly align. Yeah.
They're talking about in 2 years, I think, actually expanding in the next year or two. They're talking about doing one in the East, one in the West, and they're talking about bringing back the Supersonics and possibly a team, even possibly Louisville or in
I'm hearing Vegas as well.
Vegas, right. Yeah, and then possibly
Vegas,
maybe Tennessee,
Seattle.
Maybe.
Okay.
No, there's Memphis already. I was thinking Nashville maybe, but no. I don't know. You hear all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Montreal?
They're going to put another team in Canada? Okay. I mean,
because that's where the Bullets were, weren't they? Montreal Bullets? Or am I making that up? It was Washington Bullets, wasn't it?
Washington Bullets, yeah. I know the Grizzlies were in Vancouver.
You know what? I feel like it was Montreal. Maybe
you could be right. No, you could be right. I'm not
I think I'm mixing my baseball on that as well, though.
Yeah, that was the Expos. Yeah.
Okay.
Montreal Expos. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, yeah, I think there will be an expansion of NBA teams. I do think they'll go to 32 with very soon, next 2-3 years or so. The NBA makes so much money. You bring a team to Vegas, that's just going to add to that, especially with the betting and the gambling, and that plays a factor as well. And then Seattle is just a situation where that team should have never been relocated. Period. The amount of history that team had, it's not like they were terrible. They've had some really good players in their history. They went to the finals a few times. I believe they have a championship as well. Could be wrong. So I think Seattle is for sure. And then, yeah, I can see a team like Vegas, how that's going to work from a East-West standpoint. They're both from the West Coast, but I think they'll make it work somehow, some way.
Montreal Jazz.
Okay.
What? Oh, never mind. That's the NBA of the Canada League. So never mind. We're good. Get away here, bug. So, we're kind of still talking about what's next with Utah, and we've not even talked about their actual roster they have here. Like, we still have Jordan Clarkson. We still have got Mike Conley.
You got Mike Conley. You got Bogdanovich there.
Bogdanovich.
As well. Yes.
That that they're going to have to trade those guys now. Like, correct? Like, they're not going to keep them because they already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 9 to 10 players, I think. So, plus everyone they already have, like, they're going to have to be trading some players and getting some possibly, I don't know, G League players here cut. I've got a gnat that is bothering me on my screen here. I am so sorry. Where did you go? Oh, it's on my face. Got it. But where do you think these guys may line up? I mean, that's not a question I kind of asked you beforehand, and I apologize. But you got anything lined up where you think they may go? Mike Conley, for one, we'll start with him, point guard, kind of old. I think he's my age.
Yeah. all those guys go to contenders. All those guys go to contenders. I think Clarkson is the most intriguing piece. I go Clarkson, too. Bogdanovich, and then obviously Mike Conley, because you say, he is definitely more seasoned. He's getting up there in age. To me, he's the backup point guard at this stage of his career.
Right.
You've kind of seen him as a starter already, but he should be a backup.
Clarkson, I can see Conley going to like Miami to back up like Lowry. It's same kind of
spot. Yeah, it's a good spot. I mean, I like Gabe Vincent over there. I mean,
I do too, but I'm just saying same pace.
Yes, yeah, same pace. Young. I mean, not young. Smaller
Definitely.
defensive. Yeah, smaller defensive-minded guys.
Mhm.
That ability to make some plays, savvy, very experienced, have won a bunch of games in their career. That would make some sense, and that seems like a Miami move for
I
sure.
would like Clarkson going to the Suns, and I'm not just saying the teams I like, but that would be a nice option with Phoenix.
That's a great option for Phoenix. I think you could go CP3, Clarkson, Booker, maybe McCall Bridges and Aiden as your closing five. That's
That would
pretty
be
form.
nice.
That's pretty formidable. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty formidable. You can't sleep on anybody in that closing five.
Hmm.
So I think that's a good spot. Phoenix, they need to be aggressive. This is the
I do
time.
too. Yeah.
This is the time
100%.
for them to be
All
aggressive.
in.
For sure, absolutely. That's a good spot. That's a good spot for him. Lakers, you want to, maybe that reunion happens. They keep dangling those 27 and 29 first round picks. It's still there. It's still there. So I think that could be an option as well. They could use a solid bucket off the bench. He could also be in that closing lineup. I don't know what happened to Kendrick Nunn and his knee. I'm not sure what happens with that, but I think Clarkson's definitely much more proven than Nunn. And if you bring him in, I think that's perfect. He's played with LeBron already in Cleveland. He understands what he needs to bring to the table. And again, he could come and he knows his role. He could come off the bench, get his buckets, and if he needs to be in the closing lineup, he understands he's probably going to be a spot up, or in certain moments, cut to the basket and create his own shot if necessary. So
Absolutely.
I think those are good spots. He could go to the East. I think Boston can use him as well.
I like Boston. I do like that.
They have to stay. You just can't. And I know they brought in Brogdon. Gallinari, unfortunately, prayers up. He tore his ACL. So I don't. He probably won't be back. Maybe playoffs, if that, for Gallinari. So I think they could use another some firepower off the bench. Not completely sold on Peyton Pritchard. Grant Williams is good, but he's kind of more of a spot up. He's not a guy that can create his own shot.
Don't even what's going on.
Oh yeah, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I can see. No, I don't want to say that. I'm just talking with you here.
Yeah.
I love Smart, and I think Smart plays those numbers that doesn't go on a stat sheet that makes him very valuable. I always say the Draymond Green of the team. But if you could get him off of the floor, Clarkson on, that would help a lot as far as points and different factors there. Excuse me. So could you possibly run Tatum as point in that system, or is that putting him way out of position on there? Because Brown, we saw when Oladipo was guarding him, he just can't dribble. So
Right.
He ain't running point. I don't think you're going to move. I don't think you would have Clarkson run point, would you?
Nah, he's a scorer first. He's a scorer first. It's tough. They're a tough team because they have some really good pieces that need to be on the court, like Robert Williams, then Horford in certain spots.
Right.
Like I said, Grant Williams at times situationally.
No.
So I think it's definitely going to depend on pretty much who has the hot hand,
Right.
other than the primary two guys, which is JB and JT. But Smart, I mean, it's tough to. I know people are definitely down. They're down on Smart because he didn't have a great series in the finals. He had a okay Eastern Conference Finals. He had some solid games here and there, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. But they don't get there without him. I mean, he won Defensive Player of the Year, and I know he's not a traditional point guard, but most of the point guards in the NBA are not traditional point guards. It's only but a handful of guys, if that. So you got to keep him on the court. I think again, Brogdon is a good piece, but he has health concerns as well. So that's the main thing. So I think Clarkson could go to one of these teams, one of these contenders. If I'm one of these contenders, I'm calling Utah right now. What do you want? What do you want? Is it what do you want?
5 first-round picks. That's the starting bid. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, I'm hanging up then.
Oh
I
my
think I
goodness.
think maybe one and a player.
I mean,
Maybe one
Conley should be
first.
like a second rounder. Like, I mean, that's where he's at in his career. Like, he's still a good player, but listen, I mean, there's other players that can be the backup point guard that can do okay. Mike Conley is better, yes, but I'm not going to give up a lot. Like, I'll give you a second round pick and we'll call it even. Like, if you want to get rid of him, get a pick. That's all I'm going to give you. If you don't want it, I'm fine. I can go sign a G League player to back up, and he'll be a fan favorite, and I'll sell more jerseys.
Yeah, yeah, and then Bogdanovich too is a good player. He's a really good
Yeah.
player. He was good
Good
in
defense.
Indiana. Yeah, good, great, really good defensively. He was really good in Indiana, and then he went to the Jazz and definitely played a big part in their success as well. So he's a piece that's also very intriguing. He can space the floor, like I just said. He's versatile on the other side of the court as well. Pelicans could definitely use him. That'd be a great spot for him. He knows his role. He's a 3-and-D guy that could create his own shot a little bit. It's perfect.
Man,
it's perfect. I think the Mavs could use him.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Dallas would be a great spot for him. You know, Luka loves to set his guys up. He's going to be wide open. The more forwards they have with size and versatility defensively, the better, because then you could throw Luka on a spot up, and he doesn't have to do everything defensively when it's time.
See, that's what I'm liking about this year. Like we're 6 weeks, we're more than 6 weeks out, and we're naming teams that we would never name before. Talking about, hey, they can make a trade here and be contenders. You know, I mean, we mentioned the Mavs just because of Mark Cuban, you know, mostly. But, you know, they're relevant now. We've got the Pelicans. We got Atlanta. We have Miami, which, you know, of course, is always up there. We've got
Miami can use them too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But, I mean, there's so many small market teams that are actually in the hunt now, and it makes the NBA so much better, I think.
Of course, it's always best when small market teams are playing well.
Absolutely.
And any sports league, football, obviously, if you have a quarterback, regardless of what city you're in, it's up. It's up from there. Look at Kansas City. Just look at those other teams. If you have a guy, if you're able to draft a quarterback, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful in this. And NBA,
even Carolina, when Cam Newton was, you know, young.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And then I get back to the NBA. Look at the Spurs. Draft Tim Duncan. You have David Robinson. Then you draft Tim Duncan. You have him for the next 18 years, running your franchise. And then of course Manu and Tony Parker as well. But it's a perfect scenario. And I think that's what the Jazz are trying to do. They're trying to get their Tim Duncan. Obviously, the big name out there is Wembanyama from France. So we'll see if he could be that guy.
He's a cheat code.
He's a cheat code. He does need to get stronger. I mean, I feel like I don't know why people aren't giving him the same criticisms that they gave Chet. There when he's taller and he could weigh less than Chet. I don't know, but he definitely is going to have to get stronger. He's very versatile. He brings a lot to the table, but that's going to be the player I know the Jazz are looking at, and I feel like they definitely are going to want to try to unload those veterans that you talked about, so they could tank. I'll try to find a better word for it, but there's no other
There's
word.
not. There's not.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So we named some of these. There's. I mean, technically, I guess they don't have to tank right now, because they have so many picks that if they really wanted him, they could probably give away some picks to get him. I mean, technically, that's fair, right? I mean, they've got 7 first-round picks and 3 swappable picks, I think it was. So, I mean, if they are unable to tank or get the ball drawn, the tennis ball their way, they could trade up and still be good. So,
yeah, I'm pretty confident they're gonna get the number.
It's going to the Knicks. New York is. It's going to the Knicks.
It's not gonna go. It's not gonna go to the Knicks, brother. I think the Jazz. It's setting up for the Jazz to.
I mean, it kind of has to be. I mean, come on. But since we've mentioned it, what's next for the Knicks? Like, they're missing out on a lot, man. What's going on here?
Yeah. So
like just going to kind of build up to it there a little bit. Like the Knicks were pretty much sitting in the driver's seat, they're saying on a lot of social media, as far as getting Donovan Mitchell. They made an offer, a big offer, and they thought that they were good, and thought even with this offer from the Cavs, what I kind of got on some articles I read, that they thought they would have a chance to counter or react to their offer there. And Danny Ainge just said, no, we'll just take this deal. We don't like New York Knicks, so that's a screw you later. So the Knicks missed out on it. So what's going on, man? How are you feeling? Like, do I need to bring just you to the screen, make me smaller, so you can be like, take your time and be like, we missed out again. You know, we had Kevin Durant lined up 2010, I think it was, again in like 2018. We had Giannis lined up at 1 year.
That was a pipe dream, but yeah, that was never happening. He was never going
right.
Yeah.
Who was it last year that y'all were going to be getting? I think it was last year, maybe year before. That was just pretty much everyone was all in.
Well, yeah, like you said, KD and Kyrie, 2019. It was supposed to be Zion, KD, and Kyrie going to New York. That was supposed to be the big three with the Knicks. Listen, man, right. I'm not upset, to be honest. I'm not gonna go. I'm not like Stephen A. Smith, who again just I'm not like Stephen A. Smith, who that's what he does. That's how he gets his money. That's why he's on big. That's why he's able to stay on TV for so long. He's animated.
I don't know why, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he has a lot of people watching him, and he definitely does not speak for all Knicks fans. I'll definitely say that. By any means, he does not speak for all Knicks fans. He is a Knicks fan, that's it. But he's not the ambassador of all of the fans. I'm not upset because I just looked at the team and okay, say you get Mitchell, regardless of how it goes down, it'll be Brunson, Mitchell, and Randall. What's the cap on that? Maybe 40 wins, maybe. Won 37 last year. To me, Randall.
Man, the hate on Randall.
It's not hate. It's just the fact that I just haven't seen him play off the ball.
Agree.
If you want to be a great player, you have to do both. You have to play off the ball. Now, can Brunson come in and change that to where he could possibly be a guy that could play off the ball, play like a power forward, roll to the basket, be aggressive, doesn't have to take the air out the ball every single possession. Can that happen this year? It's possible, but it's just about want to for Julius Randle. That's all it's about, because it's not ability. He's very athletic. He's extremely athletic. He has an ability now. He can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He can pass. He can rebound. He can score. But it's just about the mindset for him. The same thing, like I said, with Westbrook. It's about the mindset. What's your mindset? How are you going to play? If you can't play off the ball, you're not going to be a great player. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Giannis plays off the ball a lot in certain moments. He does. Pick and roll, rolling to the basket, slashing, cutting. Curry plays off the ball. LeBron, all these great. Only one that doesn't really play off the ball right now is Luka, and there's a cap on that. And Harden didn't play off the ball a lot in Houston, and there was a cap on that. No championship, no finals, no finals appearance. So that for Randall, it's like you have to be able to use other ways to be effective on the court than just having the ball in your hands. That's the only way you can win championships, period. So that's my only thing with Randall. And it's just, I don't know who's going to be able to change that. And then Tom Thibodeau too, it's like, he's a good coach. He's one of the best coaches the Knicks have had in the last decade. I could definitely say that. But then again, that's not saying much because we haven't had any great coaches as of late outside of Thibodeau. Schematically, very outdated. Very outdated. It's just
won Coach of the Year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, he did in front of no fans. And then once the fans came in there, it was curtains. And for Thibodeau, it's a very stagnant offense. It's one set. We run one set, and if that set doesn't work, it's ISO. So you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win that way. You need multiple. Teams, especially in the playoffs, they're going to take away what you do best. You need counter moves, just like boxing. If you're going to take away my left hand, then I need to find a way to go to the body, use my right hand, step over, do other things in order to be successful. For Thibodeau, it's like, okay, this set doesn't work, then
play defense, cause turnover, and let's score.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's just like, here, take the ball for the last 7 seconds and just do ISO. And I think that scheme and that style of play also hurts Randall as well, because now it's like, okay, this first set's not going to work. Then I know they're going to give me the ball. I'm the best player on the team, so let me just try to do everything. So that could also be a reason why Randall isn't able to play at that type of level. So I just think that head coach best player duo isn't the best fit. So even when you bring in Donovan Mitchell, it doesn't help defensively. That's a small backcourt. You've seen the Raptors do it, but they had Kawhi and Marc Gasol and Siakam on the back end. we don't have that on the back end. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's a good rim protector. Randall, when he wants to, can play good defense, but he's not, all world defensively. And obviously, RJ is not Kawhi Leonard. So that's a different type of situation when you have a smaller backcourt like Toronto had in 2019. So I'm not mad that we didn't get Mitchell. I know, obviously, history, the way history plays out, haven't been able to get that guy. But and I know people are talking about, look at the money that all these three players have, and they add up the end money between together, and that's just not how you're supposed to do it.
Right. I seen a post on, I think it was Instagram, that said like $347 million between three players. I was like, you're making that sound way inflated on there. Like, it's not really like that. And just adding to that, I won't interrupt you, keep on going with it. But I was like, come on, man. Like, you've got to talk about the years on that as well.
Exactly. You got to talk about the years on it. You got to talk about how much they're making per year, because that's really what these teams look at. And as the years go by, those contracts have less value because, again, the salary cap goes up, and these contracts that these guys make in a per year basis also increase. So it looks, you could say it looks bad now because, again, those guys haven't really done much in terms to match their type of contract. But yeah, again, like, I just feel like you still have the picks. I think you could be able to move a guy like Randall down the road. You can move Fournier down the road to free up some cap space. Like, you have the assets. You still have. This is still a relatively young team. I think people really forget that. This is not a team with a bunch of old guys and one or two young guys. This team has a lot of young players who could potentially be good. We'll see. Some of them don't get the type of minutes and opportunity, and that's another reason why I'm not a big fan of Tom Thibodeau, because I feel like last year there were definitely moments where he could have played the younger guys and he didn't. And I feel like that could have been one of the reasons why we could have at least gotten to the play-in. He was stubborn and he wanted to go with the veteran guys and not the younger guys. You can't get better by sitting on the bench. And if they mess up, you can't take them out after one or two plays. That's not good coaching to me. I don't care how many wins he has or coach of the year awards. You can't, if a guy messes up, you can't just take him out the game. You can't just take him out the game and say, all right, this is it. Like, you're not going to play for the rest of the game. How is Obi Toppin supposed to get better only averaging 10 minutes a game? That's impossible. So
what is this this will be his third year in the league, right?
This will be his third year. Yeah, this will be his third year. And for him and for RJ, their situation for coming into the A is much different than a lot of these young players that get drafted and go to a team. When young players get drafted and they go to a team, they're the guy. That wasn't the case for RJ. Randall was the guy. And then you draft Obi, who plays the same position as Randall. So he obviously can't be the guy in that position.
So do you think that Randall's all-star year actually hurt the growth of the Knicks?
Yeah, it hurt them. Yeah. I mean, a little bit.
The future, I'll say, it hurt the future.
It changed a lot in the now, I would say, because he was on the bubble. I mean, he had two. It was really like, he didn't have a great first year, and if he had struggled that year where he went crazy, they would have won. He would have never got the extension.
Right.
Right now, he would have had 1 year left on his deal, and he would have been much more easy to trade because he only had 1 year left on his deal. So teams would have been much more willing to make a move, knowing that he has 1 year left on his deal. He could either be great for us and we could extend him, or deuces, find another spot because you're going to be unrestricted free agent. But now you give him
Nick deuces.
But now he has the extension, the 4 year 117. That changes everything now. So now teams are like, whoa, if I'm picking this guy up for the next 2-3 years, I want to make sure, one, he's all in here mentally,
healthy,
and then healthy. Health's never been. I'd say he's been pretty outside of the leg injury early.
Right.
He's
right,
been
but
pretty
still,
good.
if you're going to be making a move for $100 million for 2 or 3 more years, because he's been in the league, I'd say now at least 6 years or so.
This is year 8 now. This is year 8.
8 years, okay.
Yeah.
So 8 years starting. So I mean, he is going to decline. I guess that's what I meant on healthy. Like he is going to be declining on out. He's no LeBron year 19, as you all say. So I mean,
he's 27. He's 27. So he's not.
So he
has some time.
Okay, 27.
He's not old. Yeah, he's not old. He's not old, but he's again. These guys come in so young.
Right.
So we look at 27. We look at 27 now. It's like, he's almost done. He's almost out the league. But it's like,
which is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because back in
30.
I'm not going to say back in my day. Back when I was in college, players stayed basically 4 years where they didn't go to college. So 23, you're starting NBA at 24. So him 26, 27, he would be what Obi Toppin is starting, like his third year,
Right.
And now it's the one and done. So you've got these other guys because RJ, I feel like he's been in the league for almost 4 or 5 years, it seems like, but he's starting his third year. And, one thing, I don't know if you paid attention to the chat, but me and Nick was talking about it, like RJ and Zion came in the same year, but yet Zion has been hurt for most of his career already. And we're like, Zion's going to be breaking out this year. Zion's going to, do all this stuff. And RJ is just kind of on the back burner, like, oh man, he's done now. He's lost all of his hop. But the guy is 23 years old, right?
22. Yeah.
So technically he still would be in college. Exactly. Like he still has so much. He's not even technically done growing.
Yes.
So I mean, the dude still can produce. Like, I mean, he can still mature physically as well. So I mean, there's still a chance, guys. Knicks don't bail on RJ. Like people are talking about, they need to trade RJ and get Mitchell and some of the stuff. Like the dude's 23 years old, but found out he's 22. So like, I don't know what's going on. Like he's your guy. Like that was your pick that you put in there. Give him a few years. Like hold up.
Exactly. His situation again is much different. Again, the Grizzlies. Look what they put around Ja in 3 years. Number 2 team in the West. Like that says a lot for a small market team. They've drafted well,
absolutely.
Obviously.
So
and they have an excellent head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't a point guard that was there that they picked up in the offseason and free agency, or a guard to, take away some of the development and it really being his team right away. Like for the Knicks, like I just talked about Randall. That wasn't the case for Ja.
Right.
It wasn't the case for Zion either. I mean, they brought in Zoe and they brought in role players around Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And Zion got drafted after the AD trade. So it's different. His beginning stages in the A are very different. And they got the extension, the 4 over 120. I mean, they tried to market that and promote that. They tried to promote that as much as possible during the trade. Once the trade,
the A, you're meaning the Apple, aren't you?
Yeah.
Man, I got it.
4 years. They gave him that 4 years, and it was.
Sorry, that was bad on me.
Yeah, they gave him the bag, and he's gonna be asked to do a lot. And for me, it's just I don't think him and Randall are a good fit. They're not a good duo together.
Mm-mm.
They don't work well, and until Randall, either change his mindset or is off the team, I just don't see this team going anywhere.
And
in my opinion,
I don't know if this is a problem, but they're almost too left-handed dominant. Like, this is not a thing I've ever seen before. Like every person on the team is left-handed almost. Like RJ's lefty, Brunson's left, Randall is left. So I mean, like, I want to know if this is going to be a thing coming into this season. Like, hey, everything we've ever done has been going like this, but since we've got left, let's all just go this way with it and see how it goes. Because one thing we've talked about before is even though you're left-handed, because you and I are left-handed, guarding a left-handed person is still difficult because you expect them to be right-handed. So I don't know. I like to see if there's a mental part taken into this, but you've talked about Tom. He's just got the one set. He probably doesn't even know, hey, these guys are left-handed. I'm running it to the right side anyways.
Yeah, that's the problem. To me, it's not that they're all left-handed. It's what's being, what's the place, schematically, what's put in place. Because like I told you, I think you had brought this point up earlier and a few months ago. In the NBA, traditional starting fives, most of them are right-handed. You have 3-4 guys. Sometimes the whole starting five, they're all right-handed, and no one says anything. But if you have a scheme in place, if you have the spacing, if you have the willingness to pass and pass up on for a great shot, things like that, none of it doesn't matter what you shoot with.
Right.
So that's my problem. It's not what hand they shoot with. It's how they're able to get the shot in the first place. So it's just I'm again, like I said, I'm not really mad about not getting Donovan. I wish him the best. We talked about this at the top of the show. Cleveland has a great young team. They're going to be here for a very long time. I'm excited to see how they play moving forward, and they have everything set up for him to be successful, not just in the now, but going forward. So I'm happy for him. And again, from the Knicks standpoint, it just comes down to the coach, Randall, and mindset and who's the leader. It's a lot of factors. So I'm actually glad he didn't go to the Knicks, because I think it would have been a lot of pressure.
Growth again.
It would have stunted growth, only because I don't want to say it would have been weird. It would have been weird, only because we just don't know. Who's the best leader? Who's the leader on the team?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, who's the leader on the team?
Well, like, obviously, I'm all for Randall, but it may be best for this team to get rid of Randall at all costs, just so you can start developing your young guys. And I'm not saying develop your young guys, but you drafted those guys to play them. And I mean, year 3 and Obi is still only playing 10 minutes. I mean, obviously it's not started yet, but like, you're going into year 3 and he's still only averaging 10 minutes. Like, to me, there's a problem with that. And I know, and I've heard you talk about Tomati up there not wanting to have much of a rotation of playing, like 7 guys, I think you say.
And that was no excuse. I mean, we have nothing but young guys. You got rid of Noel. You got rid of Alec Burks. They're Pistons now. So he has to play these guys. If he doesn't, he's gone. Plain and simple. Right. Plain and simple. And I want to see Grimes. I mean, I was a fan. I like what I saw from Grimes in the summer league. He played really well. He helped lead that team to the summer league championship game this off season. And I'm looking at some clips. He looks like he's ready to go. He's 6'5". He has a nice frame, a nice build. I think he's a guy he could play on and off the ball. You know what I mean? This is what you need. You need players that could do both. Absolutely. So I think he could be a really good piece for us. I think if they move Fournier, it just puts him to that spot, and I think that'll be great for him. So I want to see what Grimes could be, and I know Knicks fans they'll say, we always look at the young guys and think, oh, we got the next this and that, or he could be this, he could be that, or his upside could be great. Knicks fans always say that, and based off history,
you should though.
Based off history, they've been right. We've hyped up these younger guys on the team. They should play. They should get minutes, and then when they do, they're ass. Like they're not very good. They're not very good, which is true. But like, I just think the young guys we have now are just they're different. They're different.
Mhm.
And then we'll see this year if they're different or they're the same, because again, this is the biggest opportunity for all of these young guys to show who they're going to be and what they are. But I just think we drafted pretty well. I think we drafted pretty well. RJ, Mitchell Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Quickly, if Toppin could actually, get some time on the court, I think he's really a guy who could play off the ball, on the ball. He could spot up, he could dunk, cuts and things like that.
Right.
Quick, Grimes, McBride. I like some of these young guys that we have. So I think it could be different, and that remains to be seen. So I'm not upset that Mitchell didn't pull up to New York. I know there's a lot of Knicks fans. They want the star. They want the star player. I'm also cool with building and building a star here, drafting one. I think RJ could be that guy.
Develop these younger players. You might be able to get that free agent superstar to come and say, "Hey, I want to play with these guys."
Exactly. If these guys play and they're contributing and they're making an impact, they could definitely come in there and have a factor to where a guy down the road, like you mentioned, could be a piece, an important piece. You have a point guard now. He's 25, so he's young, and Jalen Brunson, and I think RJ is going to have to be that. He's going to have to be the guy. He has to be the number one guy. You can't have Randall can't be the number one guy. You've seen Randall as the number one guy already, and there's a cap to it. I don't think he's a great leader, and I think if it's not going well, it shows and it reflects on the rest of the team. If you're the best player on the team, if you're the leader of the team, you have to keep it here. You have to keep it right in the middle, regardless of whether you go on a 5-game win streak or a 5-game losing streak. You have to be able to let your guys know it doesn't matter what's going on throughout the season. You're going to have ups and downs, but as long as we stay consistent, we believe in each other, it will be good. For Randall, it's we're losing, I'm bricking shots, we're not winning, then the world is over. Don't talk to me. You saw that on the court. You can't do that. You can't do that if you want to be the guy. So I think RJ has to be this guy, has to be the number one guy for the Knicks, and if he gets that opportunity, which he's never had, I think that'd be a good thing.
So what I'm taking from kind of all of this in a nutshell, the Cavs get Mitchell. Mitchell doesn't go to New York. Utah gets all these picks. Basically, what I'm hearing is Danny Ainge basically gets the defense player of the year against the Knicks. And with that being said, let's transition to the NBA Defense Week. You got to love my transitions. You know what? I like
transition.
I like to say I play good because you know what? Danny definitely did a big block against the Knicks on there. But have you been watching some of these highlights of the clips that they've been showing? Because I know I've been putting them in our chat, like the Michael Jordan snatch that he did. And what I love about what they've been doing so far, and I'll let you talk about them mostly, but it's always like an offensive turnover by that player who busts their butt to get revenge on the defensive side. Like the two that we've shared quite a bit was the Michael Jordan when he was with the Wizard, turned it over and still bust his butt to catch up in the play. Someone went lazy on the layup, and he snatched it. That's all you can say. Like he didn't block it.
Yeah.
Snatch block, if you want. Yeah. Just both hands grabbed it and said, "No, that's mine. Let's go." And takes off running with the offense. The next one that was Kobe Bryant. Gets his pocket clean, and he's almost, I'd say, second block in the paint, and the ball's already top of the key, and it looks like he is the only Laker player that is busting his tail back, and the guy goes in for like almost a finger roll, but he goes up off the backboard with it, and Kobe just pounds it off the backboard for a block on there. Two great blocks that I think doesn't get played enough. And those are the two that stick out to me. What have you been seeing? What do you got going on them?
Yeah, I think it's great that the NBA does this. It just gives people an appetizer for the season, which is right around the corner. I think it's great that they do this. I saw the blocks. Obviously, LeBron's block.
And we don't want to talk about that.
In the finals. In the finals was a big one. I forgot who. I think it might have been Jason Richardson tried to do the 360. LeBron sent that one in his younger days. So yeah, I forgot there was also another. I think Nate on Yao.
Wilt got 2 blocks on Kareem, I think they showed today.
Yeah.
Kareem did 2 hook shots on him, and he blocked them both. Like they said, the most unblockable shot, and he got 2 hook shots blocked. That's Wilt. That was crazy. I'm watching that.
Yeah, Wilt's a beast. I really wish we could go back in time, and see him in his prime, man. Just just for a week or so, when
Absolutely.
he was going crazy. I just wish we could go back and really see.
Absolutely.
I think it would give a lot of people an appreciation for
100%.
100%. Yeah, it gives people appreciation for the OGs that paved the way for what we're watching now. So yeah, Wilt is one of one. He's a beast, and I think defense within itself is something that's kind of been underrated a little bit over the years. We all talk about the 3-point shot, being the newfound thing, especially over the last decade or so in the NBA, because obviously thanks to the Warriors and what Curry has done and transformed the league. But the defense matters, man. And, now we're starting to see teams go small. And you're having 6'7" centers, positionless basketball. So you need these versatile type players on the court that could defend not only guys that they're traditional bigs, which are still not going anywhere, but also some guards because of the cuts and the actions and that these teams are running now. You need as much versatility as possible on the defensive court. I mean, on that side of the court defensively. So I think today, you look at guys like Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard when healthy, Anthony Davis as well when healthy.
When healthy.
Those guys are obviously cream of the crop. Gobert is more of an inside defensive presence in terms of protecting the rim. So Marcus
Smart,
Mikal Bridges,
Bam.
Those guys. Yeah, Bam Adebayo, again, one of those undersized, big men that could do a little bit of everything in terms of guarding everybody on the court. So defense is really underrated. You look at the 1 and 2 teams that were in the finals. It was the Warriors. I mean, in the NBA last year, they were in the finals, the Warriors and the Celtics. So defense still matters.
Absolutely.
I know we fall in love with the 3, and it's great. It's great when it goes in, but you need somebody to stop those things as well. And I think we have to appreciate that side of the court more as well. And I think for the young players too, for younger kids when they're playing this game, a lot. I look at a guy like Gary Payton II. Not a great scorer, maybe not an elite scorer. Maybe if he was on a team where the team wasn't as good and he was a number 1 guy, yeah, he could probably go get 25 and 30 every once in a while. But he knows his role. Okay, what you need me to do? Do I need to guard a power forward, a small forward? What can I do to play more? And he excelled in his role. He did that with Golden State, and he got a bag with the Trailblazers in the offseason. So, for these young kids when they're playing the game and they just look at the offensive highlights and the dunks and the 3-point shots, there's other ways to be successful in the A outside of doing everything flashy.
And see, that's where I want to say that social media or ESPN, stuff like that, media at least, almost gives the defense a bad name because all you see are the highlights. Like, you don't see the lockdown defense or stuff like that. And you can't. It's not entertaining to watch that. But, one thing I think I actually said on our show when we first started co-hosting together was, if I'm a big man, I think I should be on someone's poster at least once in my career if I'm actually playing defense, because at all costs, you should be trying to protect that rim, like on everything that's going up. Like, you should be jumping in. I hate and I cannot stand when I see a big man or anyone contesting a shot at the last second, they'll bail out and fall out of the play. Like, oh, I don't want to be a part of that. No, you got to get in there. Like, okay, yeah, you were late, but still, you're basically saying I'm not going to give my full effort because I don't want to be on the poster. Like,
right, it's not a guarantee he's going to make that dunk.
Yeah, like, you could have been up there and caused him to alter the shot or be short and hit the rim and just totally yank that dunk and be off with it. I don't know. I just can't stand it. Obviously, it's a big hype when you posterize somebody. Of course, there's the joke now. I don't know if you see it, and it may be inappropriate to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, that during the Olympics that Vince Carter used to carry around an EpiPen with him because he was afraid of people's being allergic to nuts because he was dunking on everyone. But so with that being said, like, you're going to get dunked on if you're playing defense. Like, you're going to actually fall if you're playing lockdown defense. Like, you're going to fall. It's a part of it. Like, I've been elbowed many a times being up in someone's grill trying to play hard-nosed defense. It's going to happen. If you're not trying on my team, you're not in if I'm the coach. That's how I would feel. That's actually what won our 13th region back when I was in high school, made us go on to state, was we didn't care. We wanted to play defense. We weren't athletic. We weren't very good, but we didn't care to play defense. Like, we played people that could dunk, and we did not allow them to dunk. We all about fouled out. But that's how hard we were playing, you know. We challenged everything. So,
yes.
I don't know. That's just my problem. That's my little soapbox on there. Like, if you're going to be playing defense, and that's why I like Defense Week. Like, it shows people actually giving an effort on defense. So I love Oladipo in the playoffs. Like, he picked Jaylen Brown like 15 times, it seemed like, and that's just stuck with me. Like, every time he put the ball down, it was stolen. Defense wins championships, period.
It does. It does. You're 100% right. And I think with social media, you're right about, these primary platforms. They show a lot of the offensive stuff, but we got the power. We have the internet accessible, just like, Bleacher Report and ESPN and these guys. And
that's right.
The more content you make, and you
even
show
shows count the bucket. Maybe it should be like count the block.
Listen, maybe we'll have a side segment like that down the road where
there we go.
Look at some blocks and
hey, I like that. Yeah, highlight blocks, count the blocks. There we go.
Let's do it, man. That sounds good. Throughout the season. We should definitely, we all come together and look at, for sure. We all come together and look at our favorite blocks of the week. Yeah, and we just, we put them up on the screen for the people to see. I think that'd be great. So yeah, just to show everything, not just the flashy offensive stuff, but the stops, which create the flashy offensive stuff to begin with. So I think it's real reward. Exactly, the real reward. So yeah, I'm excited for this week to see more and more highlights of these guys, Drew Holiday, and also some throwback guys too that don't get a lot of love that some people forget throughout the course of history in the NBA. Like, oh yeah, this guy, I forgot. Yeah, he was really good defensively, man. I forgot about this guy. Chauncey and those Pistons teams back in the day, and how they were able to lock up, and obviously the Bulls, and they got a lot of stops. You could go on YouTube right now and you could look up that '96 highlight reel. A lot of it is stops turning into fast breaks, and then Rodman and Jordan and Pippen going up and down the court getting stops, and their fast break is so elite.
I think it's the '96. It's one of my favorite plays that I always see in a highlight. They steal the ball, and I think it's Jordan almost, or it might be Wade now, I say that, almost going out of the bounds, saves the ball behind his back to a player, goes out of bounds, come back in, gets it back to him. I love that play. It's just so, one, defensive-minded, then heads up to be active like that, and then get back into the play too. Love it.
Yeah, so again, the more we highlight what's really important in this league, along with the flashy stuff, I think people will start to appreciate the game in its entirety.
Absolutely.
So yeah, last but not least, we do this every week, guys. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe on Rap Sports YouTube channel, and also the Count the Bucket YouTube channel as well. Hit the like the video. That's how the algorithm for YouTube, more people will be able to watch us, more people will be able to see our content and see what we got going on in the NBA. So definitely the support is definitely welcome. So we really appreciate everybody that's been, following us, and, for people that are just stopping by, really appreciate it. And then we do this every week. We do a little bit of NBA trivia. So the last site that we're on, we finished that site. So I looked up another website with some more questions for Michael and Nick. We'll get back. And
he gets the L for this week.
Yeah. He gets back in the competition next week. But Michael and I are going to go at it for a couple questions and see who's going to be victorious this week.
While you're pulling it up, just going to say this again, guys. Java Seeds, right there they are. As you can see, the ticker scrolling at the bottom. Go to thejavaseeds.com. Get 20% off your purchase when you use the promo code BUCKET. 20% off your order when you use the promo code BUCKET.
All right, ready to go?
So I can see this. You mean, am I ready to win? Because, I've won. I took 1 point away. I gave it to Nick so he could be a sole winner. I've won 3. Nick's won and you won. So that's where we are at.
Oh, yeah, some of these questions are a little tough. I mean, they're really more specific based, and there's no multiple choice. So,
how many times you've already went through this list?
0. Honestly, just.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm serious. I did not look at any of these. I did not look at any of the answers.
I didn't even think about that.
So
all right, let's go.
So let's dive in. All right. First question is, how many points did Dwayne Wade score, including the game-winning shot against the Sixers in February 2018? Sheesh.
Dude, what?
Yeah,
Dude, what?
Yeah, I'm saying these questions are crazy. I don't remember that game, the shot against the Sixers.
Let's do this. Let's make our own rules on here real quick. Whoever is closest, either over or under, gets the point, okay?
All right, yeah, let's do that. All right, let's do that. I'm going to say 30.
Oh, man, I'm going to go with 28.
Okay.
That's what I had in my head the whole time.
All right, let's see. 27.
Oh!
Wow.
So I get a point. Looky there.
Points. Okay. How many games did it take for the Golden State Warriors to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2018 NBA Finals?
Okay.
4.
Like, in my head, like, obviously, like, to win, it took them 4 games. But are they saying, like, how many games to win the 4?
Yeah, like, how many games were in the series? Like, did it go to 7? They swept, so I'm going to say 4.
Did they sweep them?
2018? I know 2017 it was 5 when it was in 5. And I know 2018 was the infamous J.R. Smith game where they could have won game 1, but
gotcha.
I say they got swept. I say 4. How many you say?
I don't think it was a sweep. I'm going to say 5.
Okay, let's see. 4
okay,
games.
4.
Okay, so it's 1-1
wow.
now.
I can't believe I didn't know there was a sweep. Whew.
All right, there we go.
This is a great question.
What team did 2015-16 rookie Justice Winslow play for?
I know. Well, I think I know this one anyways. Who'd you say?
2015-2016, Miami Heat.
That's who I was going with. Straight out of Duke. Then after that, Pat Riley said, I ain't drafting any more Duke players.
I'm trying to. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right. Miami Heat.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. True statement, by the way. Because then he went and got
games? Yeah. How many games did it take for the Warriors to defeat? What's the same question?
4. Got it.
Go past that one.
Okay.
In 2015, All-Star NBA power forward Marcus Aldridge signed with which Southwest Division team? The Spurs. Yeah,
you went from Portland to the Spurs. And then there's another Aldridge question.
Marcus Aldridge was selected with which pick in the 2006
Dang
NBA
it. That would be draft? Portland.
Yeah, but which pick, though?
Oh, which pick? Oh, gosh. Selected with which pick? 2006.
I think he was the 5th. I'm going to say 4. He was the 4th pick.
I'm going to say 6, and it might be because I said 2006.
Okay, let's see.
Just 6 was about
second.
Okay, so you get the point. You're closest.
I get that one. Let's get it.
I didn't think he was 2nd overall. Where did he go play in college
Texas. Texas.
Texas? Okay.
Yeah. What team did Bill Walton finish his career with?
Okay, I just want to go ahead and say this. Bill Walton should not be in the top 75. Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't.
Okay.
I think he finished with like 6,000 points. Like,
yeah, his career was a little different. I mean, when he went to Portland, he was good. He was the best team on that. He was the best player on that team, and they won a championship in '77. O had to tell you, he was, obviously UCLA. He was great. With John Wood and those guys, but it's debatable. It's definitely debatable.
What
team? I'm gonna say the Celtics.
The Celtics?
Yeah.
I do feel like it's an Oregon team for some reason.
Okay.
I don't even know of an Oregon team though.
Trailblazers.
I don't think it's Trailblazers. I have no idea. So I'm just going to say Golden State. I feel like it's West, though, like that.
Golden State. All right, let's see. Boston Celtics.
We were way off. Wrong coast. Where was Michael Jordan born?
New York City. Brooklyn.
In the hospital.
Boom. He was born, to me, I think he was born in New York and he was raised in North Carolina.
Okay, see, I know he grew up in North Carolina, but I have no idea where he was born, so I'm going to say North Carolina.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of could be a little trick question, bro.
Right.
Brooklyn, New York.
Uh-oh. It's like I want to show my boy band knowledge here. You ever heard of 98 Degrees?
Yes.
Do you know Nick Lachey?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Did you know that he's actually born in my city?
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yes. He's not from here, but he was born here and then went on up and lived in Cincinnati. So, yeah, there's that. Woo-hoo.
How long is the 2018 contract LeBron James signed with the Los Angeles Lakers for? It was 4 years.
Yes, because they're talking about the extension now. So, yeah, 4 years.
Yeah. All right.
You got 6 points. I got 4.
All right, let's see. Who signed a college letter of intent in 2001, but then decided to go pro? 2001.
I'm gonna say LeBron. No, wouldn't be LeBron. It'd be before that. I'm gonna say Kevin Garnett.
I think Garnett was already in the NBA by then.
Tracy McGrady.
McGrady was already in the A.
Well, then don't correct me and let me be wrong.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I'm gonna say Jermaine O'Neal. I don't know.
That's actually a good guess.
Say Jermaine O'Neal.
I mean, just go ahead because I threw 2 guesses out and you told me I'm wrong on both, so just go ahead. Kawhi Brown. I mean, really? Did he even have a career in the NBA?
I should have known that. I was blanking on that one, man. Wow, yeah.
Man.
It's a little laggy.
Six to 4 still.
Okay, here we go. What team acquired forward Jeff Green in February of 2016?
This is tough. He's played all over, ain't he?
I'm going to say the Celtics.
That's where I was thinking was Boston. Legit. Not stealing your answer. Boston or the Rockets?
The Clippers.
Or the Clippers. I think I'm going to go with – oh, did you – dang it.
You said the Celtics, man. Okay, what's NBA center Joakim Noah plays for which country internationally? France.
Wow, you said that like you knew it, like way confident. Are you that confident in it?
I think so. I think I'm pretty confident.
Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah. You played for Florida. Couldn't stand you. Did the little chomp in front of her cheerleader. You little turd. Who'd you play for? International. I don't think it's Dominican, but I want to say Dominican.
Dominican Republic. All right, let's see. France.
God, look at you. You cheated. You already looked all these up.
Nah, man. For the love of the game, brother. How many three-pointers did James Harden make in the 2016 All-Star game? I'm going to say 8.
I'm going to say 11.
Okay. 11. Let's see. 7. So I was close. Let's get it.
You are demolishing me.
In the 2018 NBA All-Star Game, who won the three-point contest? 2018.
I mean,
I'm going to say Zach LaVine.
18?
2018.
Steph won it last year. No, Cat won it last year. Cat won it last year. Did Clay win it before Steph back-to-back?
I'm going to say Booker.
I mean, I can't argue that answer at all. I'm going to say Clay.
Okay.
No, I'm going to say Steph. I'm going to go Steph. Steph is my final answer. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Look at you, dog.
Bubble Booker.
Quit it.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right, a couple more before we wrap it up. Who was the 1989 Slam Dunk champion who went by the nickname of Sky? I know his last name was Sky Walker. He played for the Knicks, but I don't know his first. I think it might be Kenny Skywalker. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. That's my final answer.
Are you sure?
Sky, nickname.
I don't think it's Kenny Skywalker. I hope you're right, because Kenny Skywalker played for Kentucky.
1989.
So I will follow you on that answer. I actually have his signed card somewhere.
All right, let's see.
Kenny Skywalker, you're right. Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
On the road, man.
Hey, I got 5 and you have 10.
NBA superstar Blake Griffin played 2 seasons of college basketball at which university? Oklahoma.
Dang it. This one. Okay, Oklahoma. Yeah, like you don't even have to click on that answer. We know that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Scrolling down. Mike Fratello won NBA Coach of the Year for which team in the 1985-86 season?
It's the year I was born, dude.
Yeah, I have no clue.
86. I mean, I'm really just going to be guessing. 86.
85, 86. I'm trying to think of some teams. Yeah, I don't know. You got anybody? I have no clue.
I mean, I'm going to say Donovan Mitchell's traded there. Let's just go with Cleveland.
Right. The Atlanta Hawks. Okay. All right, let's see. We're gonna go two more. Who led the Chicago Bulls in assists per game in 2010-11?
Well, you guys realize I've had 3 babies since then, right?
2010-11.
We have 3. Let's see here. 2010 and 11.
I mean, I want to say Derrick Rose.
I mean, that's where I'm at, but
Yeah.
I can't. When did he get hurt? I thought he got hurt in 2009.
No, he got hurt 2011, 2012 season. Yeah, I'm gonna say D Rose.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna go with you on that one, even though I need to say someone different so I can catch you or go farther. But Derrick Rose.
Yes, sir. Right. At the 2018 NBA All-Star Game, who was the head coach of Team LeBron? Tyronn Lue?
Didn't they have like Hakeem and Dr. J
as the head coaches? I don't remember that. I don't remember. You could be right. I felt like Kerr obviously was for the West. And then I feel like the East, there was, I'm trying to think of the top teams. It could be Budenholzer. It could be Budenholzer.
I'm gonna go Kerr. You talked me into Kerr.
Man, I want to say 2017, 2018.
It was Cleveland and Golden State.
Yeah, but they were in the finals, but that doesn't mean they tied that. Man, I think it might have been, was it 2000? Might be Dwayne Casey. Oh, man.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Casey.
Look at you. Look at you. You've got another screen up over there that you're clicking these on too.
No screen, brother.
Nick, I need you back on this show, man. He's cheating me.
I'm going crazy right now. This lane. This is perfect. This is perfect. All right. So
you just said I'm done after that one. That's moving on.
Right. I'm riding off in the sunset, man.
I'm just gonna go ahead and mark your point there. You won. You just beat me by like 2 points. That was it. That's totally.
Let's go, man.
Not to mention those other 5 that I just didn't mark. So yeah. All right, easy on the flex, man. I didn't act like that.
My bad.
I totally did. I'm not even playing. Well, it's 11:20 my time. I think you're in New York, so it's your time as well. I got to be at work at 5 a.m., so ready to hop off here. As always, love doing the show with you, Nick. Hate that. I'm sorry, I'm about to say that Nick wasn't here. Love doing the show with you, CJ. Sorry that Nick couldn't be on the show with us tonight. He had something come up last second there. But as always, follow us on Twitter with Count Bucket USN. Of course, podcasts on anything, iHeartRadio, Apple Pod, Spotify, all those good stuff. Twitter is Count Bucket USN. Perfect timing right there on that. Take that away, too. You can follow me at MDLawson00. And in my bio has my link tree where you can find pretty much everything I do. Of course, with my cup, Count the Bucket. You see it right there. What a great logo. But if it's flipped over, you can see Backstop Banter. Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time is my show with mine and CJ's co-hosts on other shows, Connie, who pretty much acts just like we do. We have a good time, and we kick it with baseball. So check us out. Follow us on all social medias and like and subscribe on everything that you can because you like us and other people will like us too. And, of course, thank you again real quick to Java Seeds for sending this out to us. Can't wait to send you guys some of the stuff. CJ, if you don't care, send me your address. I'll try to get that sent out to you as well as soon as possible, and we get that going too. But use that promo code, as you can see, scrolling right there, Bucket, for 20% off your purchase.
find me. You can find everything I'm working on linktree.com/cjames9 on the screen right there for the people watching. Again, thank you guys for watching and tuning in, chopping it up, and listening with us. Garda Podcast, The Hard Count on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern with Anthony Conover with Connie. We're doing the week 1 predictions for the NFL season on Tuesday, a big panel.
Hey, I'm going to be on there, I think.
All right. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, can't wait to have you on, bro. Talking about the week one games, breaking those games down, chopping it up with USN panel, everybody with the Unwrapped Sports Network. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell on the YouTube channel for USN. Count the Bucket, 9:30s on Sundays. Look for Michael and Nick and myself talking all things NBA. And also I'm doing a gambling show with my friend, a betting show, covering the NFL and NBA. But more for NFL right now. My boy Quan Williams, he's been on the show. He's been on Count the Bucket. He's been on the Hard Count as well. So look out for that as well around on Thursdays. We don't have times. We're still in the works and still trying to get putting some ideas with the name, but it's going to be on Thursdays. Time TBD. But follow me on those. If you go to my Linktree, you have all my socials. You'll be able to check it out on my story and everything that I'm working on, and you'll find out when we go live, when we have our first show, and it'll be available to watch.
Well, as long as it's not at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, it should be fine at any time. But guys, with that being said, you all have a good one. Until next time, you all take it easy. We'll send you out with a cup. Ready? Here we go.